What do people learn too late? How to manage their finances. Lesson number 1, $1,000 is not a lot to have, but it's a lot to owe. Lesson number 2, it's much easier to blow $100 than it is to make $100. Lesson number 3, 3 children is not better than 3 money. Lesson number 4, if you can't afford a condom, you can't afford kids. Lesson number 5, something expensive and unexpected will eventually happen whether you prepared for it or not. Have emergency money prepared for it. Lesson 6, a talent can almost always be turned into a trade if you work hard and market yourself correctly. Lesson 7, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. Friend of mine inherited $400,000 from a relative. He announced it on Facebook, suddenly had tons of new friends, a new apartment, new electronics, new girlfriend who was madly in love with him. They got married in a huge ceremony. The money was gone within 18 months, and within 3 months of that she divorced him for being broke and he had to move back into his mom's. Learning when to say no. Learning how to apologize when it's your fault, and how to not apologize when it's not your fault. Learning when to say no. This can be quite hard for non-confrontational people and/or people who prefer to avoid conflict in order to please people. Any tips for making saying no a more comfortable process? Consider what saying yes will cost you: time, energy, money, etc. If you really can't part with what it would cost, then no is a statement of fact, and an act of self-respect. Also, recognize that other people are allowed to be upset or have negative emotions, without it being your job to fix that, even if they say you're the source or reason. Obviously, if you've hurt someone with your words or actions, you should apologize, but if someone's mad at you for not doing them a favor, too bad. You're probably not their only option and they'll just have to learn to solve their own problems. We're each responsible for our own happiness. We can choose to add to the happiness of others, but it's nobody's job to ensure someone else's happiness. What not to share on the internet? That you might be wrong sometimes. Some people never learn it. I've discovered that my nature is to never accept that I'm wrong. I will give excuses, argue, but not accept. I've made it a resolution this year to just accept it when I'm wrong. In Western cultures, if you admit that you're wrong when you actually are, and ask how you can do better next time and then do it, people will be a lot more impressed than if you're the guy who is never wrong. The value of a good/unconditional friend. Agreed. I don't know where I'd be without my best friend. How dangerous driving a car can be. This is very, very true. I survived 2 car accidents without any scratch, in 3 months. Drive safe, and remember, just because you have priority way, it doesn't mean that they will give it to you. Pay attention. Sometimes letting go of your priority is the way to avoid an accident. Edit, by priority way I meant right of way. I didn't know how was it called in English, so I written how I would say it in my language. Letting an idiot having his way is preferable to getting into an accident with said idiot, no matter how well you are within your rights. And also know that one day that idiot will be you because you lost focus, as humans tend to do once in a while. Interest rates, credit cards, credit score, money saving techniques, 401k. In other words, anything that keeps you from being trapped by poor money management. I straight up had to go out of my way to take a personal finance class to learn half of this shit, and that was like 2 months ago, and I already forgot most of it. That it's possible to do everything fucking right and still lose. Just life in it. How to communicate. Not communicating with my wife almost destroyed my marriage. I'm finally learning to tell my wife how I feel. I was going to say something similar. I think philosophy and rhetoric should be taught in elementary. Logic and critical thinking is so important. Learning early how to form a cohesive argument and perhaps about logical fallacies is important. Also ethics. Imagine how better of a world we would live in if everyone knew how to think critically. Plato's The Five Dialogues should be introduced early on. That happiness usually comes from a diverse range of interests, hobbies, and commitments. You are not your job. Your romantic partner cannot be your everything, etc. It's so easy to get sucked into a life where your career is everything or where you wrap your entire identity around your partner. There is nothing wrong with celebrating your loved ones and being close. And there is nothing wrong with caring about your job, you just need more to thrive. I see this so often in relationships. Two people meet and fall in love. They each inspire one another based on their interests and achievements. It's part of what makes them fall in love. But slowly, over time, they let those hobbies go. Stress gets in the way. Bills pile up. And then one day they find themselves wondering why they ever loved this person in the first place. Instead of being sexy and interesting, they're just part of a routine. Social media can consume your life. It's not all real, and not everyone posting pictures is having a great time, and not every "I love you so much we should catch up" is genuine. Edit, alright, I had no idea this would blow up. But I have to add some stuff to clarify. I wrote this because of the impact social media has had on my family. My mom will all the time look at the pictures of her friends and complain and even cry about her own life. It isn't just her, because I know for a fact that everyone in our community thinks the same way. They live to take pictures and show off on Facebook. Someone else I know is wasting money on expensive items when they don't have enough of it, strictly to make a woman jealous on social media. For some people saying that it's not wrong to comment, you are right. There's nothing wrong with positivity under the pictures of girls. It's not okay when it's entirely fake, and if you don't know that someone can comment something nice and still hate your guts, you've got to be new on earth. I have had so many rage-inducing people around me who are obsessed with social media, and are letting it ruin their lives, that I can't stand it. Except Reddit. Don't worry if you aren't living an exciting or extravagant life. It's okay to live simply and quietly. It doesn't mean that you're wasting your life. I'm the most boring person ever. I'm 30, never went out when I was younger, never bunked a day of school, got straight A's, never smoked a cigarette or anything else, never ever been tipsy, and I don't drink. I'm always at home crocheting, playing with my kids, gardening. I have about 4 friends and no social media. I didn't really date, met my husband at 20 and got married. Didn't have a wedding, and I love getting a good bargain. But I feel like I'm living the most exciting life because it's my most authentic life, and I'm not changing the world, but I'm keeping my part of the world beautiful and clean. When my kids hug me or tell me I'm a nice mommy, that makes me feel I have a pretty good life. That they are terrible at parenting. As a fuel on, don't accidentally have kids with someone who has told you they don't want kids. Overwhelmingly, they won't come to adore the kids. And there is someone in the back who is like, "You said overwhelmingly as if there is a small chance." Just know the value of walking away from someone toxic in your life, even if it is your parents and family. If you are thinking of it and are scared and have somewhere where you can land in a safe place, then do it. It hurts like hell for a long while, but it gets better, and one day you realize how peaceful your life is, and you find you only miss the family you wish you had had. Don't ever think it's okay to talk to yourself in a manner you wouldn't let another human being talk to you. The biggest abuser I ever had in my life was my constant companion, the thoughts in my head. We often take care to choose our words when correcting a child or friend. But if anyone had talked to me the way I talked to me for 30 straight fucking years, I would have murdered them. And probably got away with it too. Be nice to yourself, you're the only you have. That some things can never be undone. The actions you take and the words you speak will come back around sooner or later. Yes, some words can never be taken back. I learned the hard way. This is why it's better to train yourself to think carefully before saying something. I didn't do that because I wanted everything to come naturally, but I realized that's just an excuse I used to avoid taking responsibility of things I said. Not everyone is going to like you, no matter how hard you try. That most people will just help you, how and if they can, if you are honest with them. It seems like so many people feel the need to conceal what they actually want from you, and try to get it by presenting a half-truth or what they think you want to hear, instead of just being straightforward. Sitting on your ass all day is not good for your health at all. That it's never too late to learn. Saying I love you or wanting to reach out to your family, friends and loved ones, but crippling anxiety stops you. You never know when it may be too late to say these things, so be in the moment, and live/love in the present authentically. That dwelling in the past only wastes your present and shortens your future. That the cliche "you never know when it's the last time you'll see" to someone should absolutely be remembered for every occasion. My best friend just died in a car accident this past Saturday, and the last time I saw him we got in an argument and he left and we didn't speak after that. I'm destroyed by it. That hating people who are different makes you nothing but unhappy. Mistakes have consequences. Sometimes they are huge consequences, such as a mistake while driving could kill yourself or someone else. Sometimes they're little consequences. But always learn from your mistakes, and that you should always be learning and improving yourself. What do people learn too late? Leave a comment, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more same videos.